What is up, Texans Nation? Can you feel the excitement in the air? We have been waiting for this moment for what feels like an eternity, and finally, the wait for one of our most explosive playmakers is almost over. There's a massive update regarding the return of our star wide receiver that you absolutely need to hear right now. Will he be ready to dominate when training camp kicks off? Stick with me, because I'm breaking down the latest information on his recovery. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Let's get into it. Tank Dell has been noticeably absent from the Houston Texans' active lineup for approximately 18 months, a direct result of the severe leg injury sustained during the 2024 season finale against the Kansas City Chiefs. That unfortunate incident, which involved a complex series of tears to his ACL, MCL, PCL, and meniscus, forced the explosive playmaker to sit out the entirety of the 2025 campaign. As the 2026 season approaches, his status remains the primary focus of the team's medical and coaching staffs, especially after he was held out of full participation during recent Texans OTAs. Fans have been waiting for clarity on when their dynamic wideout will finally reclaim his spot on the field. Fortunately, the wait for Tank Dell is reaching its conclusion. General Manager Nick Caserio recently provided an official update on Sports Radio 610, establishing a concrete timeline for his recovery. Caserio confirmed that the organization is targeting the upcoming training camp for Dell's full return to practice sessions. While the receiver has been active on the side during individual drills, the team has been methodical in managing his workload to ensure long-term physical stability. According to the general manager, training camp serves as the logical window for his reintegration into the team's primary offensive schemes. This news brings a sense of direction to the franchise's off-season planning, as they look to get their standout playmaker integrated back into the rotation alongside a talented receiving core. For those who have been tracking his slow, steady progression, the confirmation that he is on schedule for the summer activities is a significant development. It is almost Toro time in Houston as the team prepares to eventually welcome back one of their most impactful offensive weapons for the 2026 season campaign. Why does this matter right now for the Texans? The significance of having Tank Dell back in the mix cannot be overstated, as his absence has fundamentally altered the offensive rhythm that CJ Stroud relied upon throughout their previous campaigns together. Having a player with his specific skill set returning for training camp provides the coaching staff with the necessary reps to re-establish chemistry before the regular season begins. With a deep group of pass catchers already on the roster, including Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz, the reintroduction of Tank Dell adds a layer of versatility that the offense lacked while he was on the sidelines. His return is not just about filling a spot on the depth chart, it is about restoring the explosive potential that he demonstrated throughout his first 25 games in the NFL. During that stretch, he logged an impressive 98 receptions, 376 yards, and 10 touchdowns, proving he is a vital component of the team's passing attack. By targeting training camp, the organization is prioritizing his long-term health while simultaneously ensuring he has enough time to adapt to the 2026 offensive playbook. This strategic approach allows the team to maintain depth with second-year wideouts like Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel, who have gained valuable experience in his absence, while preparing for the inevitable return of a proven veteran playmaker. The front office is clearly committed to ensuring that when Tank Dell does return to live action, he is physically prepared to perform at the high level he displayed prior to his injury. His transition back into the lineup will be one of the most closely watched aspects of the upcoming training camp, signaling a major boost for the team's overall depth. General Manager Nick Caserio has offered a transparent look into the internal approach regarding the recovery process of Tank Dell. By emphasizing that the organization wants to be careful and do the right things, the team is signaling a philosophy of patience. It is clear that while the medical staff is overseeing his physical progress, the front office is focused on putting him in a position to be the best version of himself upon his eventual return. Caserio noted that despite the long layoff, Tank Dell has maintained an exceptional attitude and remains incredibly eager to return to full contact practices. This internal drive is precisely what the organization looks for when navigating the complexities of a long-term rehabilitation program. the team is not just waiting for a return. They are actively managing a deliberate, step-by-step process that leads toward his participation in training camp. This decision by the management shows a commitment to protecting their asset while acknowledging his intense desire to contribute. Tank Dell is currently chomping at the bit, as described by Caserio, but the team's ability to balance that ambition with medical caution remains the central pillar of his recovery timeline. By setting the training camp as the realistic expectation, the Texans are effectively managing the expectations of both the coaching staff and the fans. This structured plan allows the team to focus on current roster evaluations during OTAs, knowing that their primary explosive target is making steady, monitored progress toward his full availability. As the summer progresses, the focus will inevitably shift toward how the coaching staff decides to ramp up his practice reps once the team arrives at training camp to begin the final phase of his long-awaited return. The impact of this return on the 2026 roster is substantial because of how Tank Dell fits into the established hierarchy of Houston's pass catchers. Since 2023, only Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz have logged more receiving yards than him, highlighting just how essential he is to the offensive identity of the team. Whenever he is back at 100% capacity, he will have an opportunity to reclaim his status as one of CJ Stroud's favorite targets. This creates a highly competitive environment for targets, which historically benefits the entire offense by forcing defenders to account for multiple threats on every single down. While the team has successfully integrated players like Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel during his absence, the presence of a proven performer like Tank Dell elevates the collective ceiling of the group. The team's ability to successfully move forward without him for 18 months reflects the strength of the remaining roster, but his return adds a different dimension to the field. He provides a specific type of speed and playmaking ability that forces defenses to stretch their coverage, creating more space for others. As training camp approaches, the organization will gain more clarity on his specific workload, but the mere mention of his availability is a positive step for the offense. The transition from off-field drills to full training camp participation will be the ultimate indicator of his readiness to compete again. This shift marks a turning point in his rehabilitation, shifting the focus from individual recovery to team-oriented preparation. As the Texans move closer to the start of the season, all eyes will be on how quickly Tank Dell can integrate back into the starting lineup. Looking ahead, the strategy regarding Tank Dell for the remainder of the summer revolves entirely around a measured ramp-up period. The Texans have successfully navigated a difficult 18-month recovery period for their receiver, and they are now approaching the finish line with a focus on sustainable performance. The specific mention of training camp as the target confirms that the team has moved past the initial phases of his injury rehabilitation and is now entering the final stages of his return. This timeline is critical, as it allows the coaches to observe his performance in live settings without rushing the process. For the fans who have been following his journey since that difficult 2024 season finale, this is the most definitive update provided by the front office in quite some time. The expectation now shifts to the training camp sessions, where the intensity of his drills will likely increase to reflect his progress toward a return to full football activity. Because he has worked harder than anyone and maintained a positive approach, as noted by the general manager, the organizational belief in his ability to return to form remains high. While the team remains cautious about his long-term health, the consensus is that he is trending in the right direction. Every step taken on the field, whether it is individual work on the side or eventually team drills at camp, serves as proof that the plan is yielding results. As the Houston Texans prepare for the challenges of the 2026 season, the return of Tank Dell will provide a significant boost to the offense. His return to the field is now just a matter of timing, with the summer training camp serving as the venue for his official comeback to the active roster.